You're listening to the Confidence Coach Podcast, episode 95, how your personality affects your sales and your business. What's up, guys? I'm Sasha Davis. Welcome back to the podcast. Today I want to talk about if you're cut out for sales and if you're actually cut out for business. I personally think that a lot of people are attracted to the sense of freedom that you supposedly gain by having a sales position or by having your own business. And I believe the two go hand in hand. You know, if you run a business, you have to be making sales in order to sustain that business. And a lot of times people get really weird about sales and they're like, I don't want to talk about sales. I don't want to talk about selling to people. It's weird. It's gross, blah, 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 blah. And it does take a certain type of person to do sales, to be an entrepreneur, and to do business. I have been working for, these sales companies for a while. I've been in business on my own for a few years now, and I have opportunities come up all the time. But I'm also very familiar with how sales and business operates. And this is why a lot of companies want you to take a personality test before they interview you, based on what your personality is and how you are apt to put yourself out there or not, if you're willing to take risks, how you feel about failure, if you set and achieve goals for yourself, if you stick to a schedule. These are all things that are very, very important in a sales role and in a business role. And I do not think that everybody is cut out for it. I do believe that you can learn these skills and learn these strategies, but it takes a particular type of personality and mindset in order to excel at this type of position. So whether you're in direct sales, insurance sales, car sales, product sales, service sales, whether you own your own company, you have to make sales in order to sustain your business, to make it a profitable business, to pay yourself, to pay your employees. And if you are too caught up in your own head about, I'm not going to be able to say this, or I can't sell this, or I can't do this, I can't, your business is not going to last very long. Some of these are just mindset shifts, yes. Some of them are confidence issues, yes. But some of them are also personality issues. If you find that you're a very black and white, very analytical person, you will likely not excel in a sales role because you are more focused on numbers and behind the scenes and how things work and how things operate. And that's great. People need people like you in their business. People need people like you in their lives. And then you also have like the creatives who are dreaming up new ideas and new ways of doing things and stuff like that, but they freeze up when they go to tell somebody about it. Or sometimes we get way ahead of ourselves and we think, we have the cat in the bag just because somebody liked a post. And so then we get really bent out of shape when that person doesn't reply to us. It's like it's a jab at your ego. So I want you to ask yourself, what type of person are you? Are you cut out for sales? Are you cut out for business? And it's okay if you're not, you guys. What's the saying? We need all kinds to make the world go round. I suck at being an employee. I really suck at being an employee. I have a lot of confrontation with management. I've been let go of a few positions. But I've also really excelled as an employee up into management and sales. But I like the freedom aspect. I like having, and the sky's the limit. I don't like being put in this box. I don't like a whole lot of structure. I want somebody to say like, hey, here's your goal. Now go make it happen. Like that's how I operate best. somebody else, that might scare the absolute shit out of them to the point where they just freeze up and they're like, I don't even know where to go. I need to know step 1. I need to know step 2. I need to know step 3. And that's perfectly fine too. Perfectly fine. But you have to know what role works best for you based on your personality. Okay. And some people are just straight up better at a supporting role. They don't want to be in that limelight. They don't want to be the face of a company. They don't want to be these things. And there is nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that. I'm very detail oriented when I'm like looking from like an outsider looking in, but I am very much just winging it type of person. I'm a very action-oriented type of person. I think about consequences after I act. For me, it's easier to apologize than it is for me to come up with this very detailed, structured plan. Now, if you were to ask my husband that, he would tell you that drives him crazy about me because I am. I'm like, no big deal. We'll figure it out. Let's make shit happen. Like, we have a goal. We're going to make it happen. We're going to figure it out on the way. He needs to know step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, step 6. And while I need to know the first couple of steps, I don't look 100 steps into the future because that will overwhelm me. That will stress me out and I will never take action. I am much more, all right, let's get started. We need to make shit happen. And so this is why I have always excelled in sales and entrepreneurship, because I don't get really hung up on the numbers. I don't get really hung up on the details. I'm out there building relationships, talking to people, uncovering what it is that they need and how I have a solution to their problem. Okay. There's been times where people are like, hey, can you help me with this? I'm like, that's not my specialty, but yes, I can. Let me help you. Because I know that I can. And I want to, that's all sales is figuring out what the person's problem is and how you or your product or service can help them solve that problem. And a lot of times we overcomplicate it. We're like in our own heads, what if this person says no? What if they say no? It's not like you're going to lose your fucking birthday. No big deal. And the more you get out there and hear these no's, the thicker your skin will be and the more apt you will be to find the yeses. It's just that determination. It's that drive. You got to be hungry. You got to want it. And if you don't want it bad enough, you're not going to get it. I don't care, again, if you're in direct sales, if you're in insurance, if you're in cars, if you're waiting for people to come find you to pay your commissions, it will not happen. Unless you got lucky and inherited some book of business that has, every year you get a certain percentage of it, which I know there is companies out there like that. They just, they make their commissions based off of previous customers. But to me, that's not a sales role. That's not a business building role. That is a customer management role. That is a customer service role. In order to increase sales, increase profit, increase business, you need to be out there talking to people, getting to know people, figuring out how you can increase your sales, your confidence, your willingness to network and meet new people and try new things. And just know that failure will happen. You have to be willing to embarrass yourself every now and then. Hell, there's been times where I've been selling multiple products at a time. You guys know me. I'm very much an entrepreneur. I do life and sales coaching. I do some online sales coaching for other people. I'm an online sales rep. I sell insurance. I do lots of different things. I do affiliate marketing. I have a blog. I have the podcast. I have my hands very much in different areas, and I'm very strategic with how I operate. I'm very structured. I set time aside for prospecting and these things. But there has been times before I created all these systems and strategies in my business, in my life, that I was a shit show. I was all over the place. I kid you not. There had been times where I would show up at one job dressed in another job's outfit. And I'm like, I don't even know where I need to be right now. I just know that I have to work. And I've done that with sales calls too, where I've talked to people where I was supposed to be selling a certain type of product And I was in the mindset of selling an entirely different product. So when I came to make a product recommendation, I was like, I don't think this product is cut out for you. And they're like, oh, well, I thought I filled out this, and this. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm a fucking moron. I am totally in the wrong headspace of what product I'm supposed to be marketing to this person right now. And so I have developed strategies, systems, things that work for me to keep my head right, to keep me hungry, to keep me organized, and to keep me helping people. That is my ultimate goal. While yes, I'm making a sale, I am also helping somebody solve a pain point, solve a problem. And I'm very passionate about that. And if you don't have the passion for it or the motivation, two things. One, you need to find the passion. Two, you need to find the motivation. You need to find the passion or the motivation, or you need to move on to a different position, either a supporting role or customer service role or something else that doesn't require you to be in sales. Because when you try to continue to do something and you're just like beating your head against a wall, you're not helping your confidence at all. Okay. So I want you to figure out what your strengths are within your business, within your company, within your job, within your household, and figure out how you can start being a part of that role instead of forcing yourself to be something you're not. And so let me ask you, a lot of times salespeople they love talking to people. They love helping people. They love problem solving. They're up for a challenge. They're not scared of failure. Well, they are sometimes, but they just keep going. They very much like to try new things. They like adventure. They like putting themselves out there, and they like that the sky is the limit and that they are the ones that get to create their own rules, their own guidelines. And if this fits you, then I want you to take a deep dive look into what's holding you back in your business from creating these sales or creating this profit or excelling and expanding your business. Sometimes it's just lack of education. Sometimes it's lack of support. Sometimes it's lack of systems and strategies. Sometimes you're not setting aside time for prospecting or sales calls or DMs or however it is that you operate your business. I know there's people out there that do email marketing, and there's people out there that work solely on social media. There's people who still cold call or go door to door. I mean, there's tons of different ways that you can be out there prospecting, but you have to set aside time for it. You have to make it a part of your business building. Okay. So think to yourself, what are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What is really holding me back? Is it just that I'm scared? Is it that I don't know what steps to take next? Or is it that you're just not a salesperson? And that's okay, you guys. That is okay. I know that there's a lot of hype around, direct sales and network marketing right now. And I think that that's great. And I think there's tons of potential out there. But just because you use the product and showcase the product does not mean that you're selling the product. You actually have to prospect. You actually have to ask people for the sale. You have to go out there and show people that they have a problem and you have a solution. I'm telling you, it's not going to happen by you just posting on your stories or you just posting on your timeline or you just like half-ass saying, oh yeah, I do this on the side, da 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 da. That's not going to get you the freedom that you think. I see all these entrepreneurs or these salespeople online, and some of them just straight up like pay other people to do their sales for them, which you can totally do. That is 100% okay. If you have a product that you believe in and you want to hire somebody out to do your commission sales for you, by all means do it. Lots of companies do. There's no shame in it. If you have a different zone of genius, but you know that your business or your product is worthwhile, hire somebody out to do your sales calls for you or prospect for you. Okay. There's lots of companies that do this. Hell, I even do this. Like I do some of my own sales calls and then I have somebody help me with sales calls because they can be very time consuming. And I'm on the phone all day long doing prospecting and sales calls. And so there's only 24 hours in a day, you guys, and I can't do them all. So I have somebody help me. It is okay to have somebody help you. And then next, I just don't like how everybody makes it look so easy. It's so easy. And while it is easier for some, it's not always easy. There's a lot of mindset. There's a lot of confidence. There's a lot of self-worth stuff that comes up. You have to have a lot of grit and a lot of determination. And you get kicked a lot. You learn a lot. You hear the word no a lot, or that you're crazy, or that doesn't work, or so-and-so thinks this, or so-and-so thinks that. But if you deep down believe in what it is that you're doing, none of that's going to stop you. Those are just going to be obstacles. Those are just going to be challenges. And somebody like me or another type of like sales coach can help you work through those things. Sometimes you just have these mental blocks, and really deep down, you're an amazing salesperson. You have a great business. You have all the potential in the world. You just need a little guidance. Hell, that's what I needed. You guys, when I worked in my first sales role, my first commissions role, I hated talking to people and selling products. I absolutely hated it. But in order to make the type of money that I wanted, I had to get over myself and start asking the right questions. And a lot of times when we just ask the right questions and get out of our own head and get out of our own way and look at a bigger picture, people want you to help them. Okay? I had a solution to their problem, but I was too scared to do a needs analysis. I was too scared to uncover what problems they were experiencing because of my own ego, because of my own lack of confidence, because of my own lack of self-worth. And once I started to get over myself, put myself out there and just say, fuck it, what's the worst that could happen? The sales really started to increase. And that's when I started to get recognized for my sales, because I'm just putting myself out there. When I believe in something, I believe in something. When I know it can help somebody, I will sell it. Right? And I ask the right questions, and I will not recommend a product. This is where I think sales gets kind of like icky, is because sometimes people will just recommend a product just for a sale, right? And it's like they're not even listening to you. So a lot of what sales is shutting up, asking the right questions, and listening, and then recommending a product or service based on what it is that those people need. But it is up to you to start the conversation, to create that relationship, to build that relationship, okay? And when you're so amazing at sales and customer service and things like this, really, and customer service comes after you make the sale, right? Because you want to continue to service your client to the best of your ability. They will continue to be a repeat client, and they will referrals. You guys, referrals are huge. So you want to make sure that even the people that you're talking to that are telling you no, you want to make sure that you make it such an amazing interaction that they just are like, you know what? You're pretty cool. I like what you're about, and I'm going to tell my friends about you. You're like, sweet, that's awesome. Okay. Instead of saying like, well, fine then, I didn't want you to buy my product anyways. A lot of times we take it too personal. Again, getting in your own head. So I could go on and on and on about this topic. I just love talking about it because I think the whole psychology of business and like mindset and personality plays a massive role in entrepreneurship, in business, in sales, in money. It all just fascinates me. So what I want you to ask yourself is my personality cut out for the position that I most desire? Okay. And if the answer is no, what positions or businesses or roles can you take on that are in alignment with how you operate as a human being? Because I tell you, you are going to be a hell of a lot happier if you find something that works for you based on who you are as a person versus forcing yourself to become a person that you are not. That is where you're unhappy. That is where you're out of alignment. That's where you start to feel stuck. Okay. There's tons of personality tests out there. Go take them all right now. Oh my gosh, I could go on and on. I like, one of the ones I liked was the 16 personalities, and there's the Enneagram, and then there's, I'm just going to use those two for now. Go out there, take some personality tests, even like the working or like business or professional personality test. They will tell you what type of role you would be best fitted in. Okay. And if you have questions, ask. If you're looking for additional support, I am taking applications for the Confidence Academy from now until the end of June. So if this calls to you, if you're like, I want to work on my confidence, I want to work on my sales, I want to know how to put myself out there, I want to know how to set boundaries, strategy, structure, things like this, I want to speak with you. Okay. Again, quick conversation. And if we both feel like it's a good fit, then hell, we'll go ahead with it. Right. But if it doesn't, I'll make some recommendations on where to start. Okay. No harm, no foul. You just need to go over to sashadavis.com/apply now, fill out the application. It'll then send you a link to my calendar so that me and you can hop on a free clarity call so I can get to know you a little bit better. See if working together would be a good fit. Okay, that's it. All right, guys, have a kick-ass day. I'll catch you next time. Thank you for listening to the Confidence Coach podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, I want to invite you to leave a 5-star review and share what you loved most about this episode. You can also screenshot and share it on social media. Tag me at sasha.davis. And if you're looking for additional resources, head on over to sashadavis.com. Check out ways that you can work with me and all the free resources that are available to you. Have a kick-ass day.